Hi, I'm Will, and welcome to Woodpine Woodworks. On today's episode, we're going to talk about finishing a box with Rubio Monocoat Oil Plus 2C. This is the pure finish on a box that I made out of cherry for the sides and walnut for the top. So let's just talk about the things we need. So I'm using Rubio Monocoat Oil Plus 2C Pure. This is left over from a project I did in the early of this year, and I thought, hey, why not try it on a box? Need a couple of syringes to measure out the parts A and parts B. Need a couple of white Scotch-Brite pads. I took a big pad and just cut it down into smaller pieces for this box. You need some sort of a mixing stick. I'm using a tongue depressor. I got a pack of these. And then I like to use these recycled yogurt containers for my finishes. Just kind of stir them up. And then the other things you need is some lint-free rags. I use old cut-up t-shirts for this. And then I like to wear rubber gloves because I don't want this stuff all over my hands and everything else. So let's get into it. The first thing we got to do is mix up our Rubio. And it's 3 parts A to 1 part B. So at least that's what the instructions said. So I'm going to start by mixing up a small batch and getting us ready for that. So we'll take these apart. So this is the A part. We're going to do 3 parts of this. I'm actually going to double it because I think I'm going to need more than one application for that. Bought this for another project, and I really liked it. Really liked how it went out. It's my first time using it, and I will definitely use this stuff again. So there's the A. I'm going to give this just a little bit of a mix because it's settled just a little bit. Okay, so these are graduated, it looks like milliliters, so I'm just going to pick up 6 milliliters of this stuff, the part A. So there, I've got 6. Put it in my cup. And I might do another 3 because that looks like it might need a little bit more. This stuff goes a really long way, but I don't want to get into the middle of this and have to remix any. So there I have a total of 9 units, or basically 3 servings of the part A. Okay, here's the part B. I need 3 units of this. So this is going to be 3 milliliters of this guy. Add that to our little cocktail. Cap these back up. Okay, so that's our Rubio, and we will mix it for just a moment. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of looks like a bit of a yellow paste. Actually doesn't smell too bad, and one of the reasons I like this finish is because it's non-toxic, none of that ethyl methyl kill you stuff. So that's one of the reasons I very much like this. So we'll give this a stir, and then in about a minute we will start applying this. So I'm going to take one of these white Scotch-Brite pads, clean off my mixing stick. I don't want to waste any of this stuff. And I think with our box, I think I'm going to actually start with the lid first. And I'll start with the lid, the inside of the lid. And then we'll go to the outside of the box itself. And this is just really kind of where the magic is right here. So let's get this out of the way so you can see. So I'm just going to, you can pour it on. I prefer to kind of like dip this little Scotch-Brite pad in there. Get a little bit on top of there. And you just start working it in. And the wood absorbs. It only takes what it wants, and that's it. So you can't really over apply this stuff, which is what I really like, especially for like a tabletop or something like that. There's been a bunch of great videos about the durability of this stuff on YouTube, so I won't go into any of that here. And this is probably way overkill for a box finish, but since I had it here at hand and I didn't want it to go bad, I figured I might as well use it up on a project and maybe make a video about it, and hopefully somebody can learn how to do this. So I will definitely be using Rubio on future projects. May or may not be boxes, but certainly any furniture I build is going to have this on it. And I like it too because it's repairable. You know, if something was to happen to the piece, you can simply sand it in that area and repair. All right, so I've just got the top just about done here, and this went on really nice. In some of the corners I had to kind of juice up my white pad a little bit, and I even used an acid brush to kind of work it into the corners. Very, very easy to do. And the next step in the game is, well, I'm going to do the box bottom, but the next step is to take 2 dry, clean cloths, and I use 2, one for each hand, and you wipe off any residual because the wood will only take so much. If you don't do this, it'll get sticky, and you don't want that. So you just kind of come back over this thing and wipe off any of that oil that didn't already soak in. And I'll probably wipe it down one more time when I'm done. But boy, did that come out! Boy, did that come out beautiful. So I'm really glad I chose this finish, and I think it's going to look really nice on this box. So the next step is to get this wiped down, set it aside, and then I'll start working on the box bottom. I think I'm going to start from the inside of the box and work my way out. And you'll notice the bottom is blue. That's some leftover milk paint I had, so I just used it up as an interesting feature of the box itself. So I'm going to start there first and work my way out. And I actually had to mix up more of this because I was running a little low. So I mixed up another 2 units of this stuff. So 3 milliliters of the A and 2 of the B. So I kept the same ratio. So just going to start in the middle on the milk paint. And, yeah, no, milk paint's not coming off, so it's kind of nice. I didn't try this on a sample piece, which I probably should have done. Just going for it. And actually, it's looking really cool, and I'm not seeing a bunch of blue on here, so that tells me that it looks like it's actually taken, and it's going to give it a nice effect. I did sand this down to give it kind of a weathered look, so it's kind of the look I was going for. So we'll just keep on chugging through and show you the end result here in a few minutes. All right, so just continue to work this stuff in nice and slow. You can't be in a rush when you're doing this, and you just make little circles, little happy circles, like happy trees, happy circles. And you just kind of go a little bit at a time, making sure not to miss any spots, not to overlap. Use a raking light if you can, or just some, let the light bounce off the finish, and it'll show you if you've missed any pieces. And last little bit right here. Boy, does that go on nice. Especially at that end grain where it really wants to soak this up. This cherry that I had was extremely dry, and it really, really soaked this finish in. So, yep, just got to do the top here. Make sure you don't miss any. Give it the good once over. And that's really all there is to it. This is not a difficult finish to apply. More than anything, you just have to take your time. Go slow with it, and you have to be sure to wipe off any excess at the end, because it will gum up. It won't. The wood only takes what it's going to take, and that's it. So I haven't found that putting any extra coats on really does anything. Now maybe on a floor that would be something different, but on a small box like this, 1 coat's going to be just fine. So I'm going to finish wiping this down, and then we'll bring you in close for kind of the once over. All right, let's bring you in for a close up. It came out really nice. Went on real smooth. I was a little bit worried about the milk paint in the bottom, but that turned out to be just fine. And boy, did that grain pop. Looking at that walnut. Well, it's the day after we put the finish on, and I checked it out, and it really came out really nice. I think the key for this was making sure that I wiped off the residual finish after we got done applying the initial coat. So I'm going to put the hinges back on, and we'll give you the grand tour of the final project. All right, so thanks for watching. A couple of final thoughts on this. I really like this finish. It goes on very easily. One of the things that I found I had to be very careful about was getting too much of the finish built up in the corners of the lid, up into here and here. This is a spot that it's going to want to gum up, so you really got to take your time and wipe out the excess there. But overall, it came out really nice. Has a very nice feel to it. Smells nice, feels nice. And this is a finish that I'll be confident in for years to come. If anything ever happens to this box, it can easily be repaired. My go-to finish for boxes is usually Danish oil, but I had this Rubio and I wanted to use it up before it went bad. So I figured, why not? So this just goes to show you definitely can use Rubio on smaller projects. Might take you a little bit more time to apply than, say, something like a Danish oil, but the finish is fantastic. It's a non-toxic, and I think the results speak for themselves. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode.